Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame as we start a new this is a start of a 4-hour candle, a new 4-hour candle, but we are on the hourly time frame. And we were just red, we're turning green now. That's nice. I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if we came all the way down to about 42,250. To the bottom of this triangular formation here. However, on a 4-hour, that is the bottom because the bottom is measured way over here, right here. So we did come down to the bottom on the 4-hour. And so let's take a look at that. Well, first of all, let's stay here because I'm liking this big green candle. Wow. Ooh, look at it go. I'm really liking this, and you'll notice that we are coming to the end of this triangular formation. 4 hours. Yep, we did kind of come down to the bottom there. And, are we going to bust out right now? Yeah, I can't really form another 4-hour candle. So probably within the next 4 hours, we got to make a decision which way we're going to go here. Now, what is this triangular formation? Because I didn't have this here in the last video. I didn't have all these lines here on the last video. I'm getting out of control, man. All I had was these. Well, I think actually all I had was this one parallel channel, this bull flag pattern here. And we were looking for a breakout around this area here. And after we did, I remember we did have this fake out to the downside. And I was looking for a breakout here. That did not happen, obviously. We decided to not only continue trading in here, but also continue. I cloned this channel and pulled another one down here. It's a little cockeyed here because, you know what, let's just straighten it out here on the 4-hour. That happens when you switch, depending on what time frame you draw these on. And anyway, that looks better. And let's see, we did come all the way down and just wick outside that, but still consolidating within this parallel channel bull flag pattern. Now, so the original polls that I drew are not relevant anymore. But possibly the target I had was up here at around 45.3-ish. And then I also cloned a bunch of parallel channels and put them next to our original parallel channel. So I just can't control myself. Looking for patterns. But what I do see is that then I realized the triangular formation that we are consolidating in here. So it's interesting that we did wick down here to the top of our green parallel channel. Remember that? We tested the top of the green parallel channel, did not fall into it, bounced right off. And then what did we do? We wicked down here outside of that parallel channel bull flag that we had been forming, came all the way down to this point to create this bottom portion of our triangle. Now the top one we had been forming, it's the top of our bull flag pattern. We have lots of contact points there. So that's all I have to say about that. Now the target I measured is from where we wick down to the top of the green parallel channel and up here to the top of our bull flag pattern. So I used that and I placed that right here. Now, if you go sideways across all our parallel channels that we drew, well, first of all, I drew these other white lines that are perfectly parallel to our orange parallel channel that we have been trading in. And I placed this one with contact points here and here. So that's on a Monday. This is on a Wednesday. Um, and it's perfectly parallel to this. Kind of splits the bottom portion of the orange parallel channel that we've been trading in into thirds. So I'm just kind of using that as a guide to a possible target where this green X is at about 45.8. That's pretty close to our original target from the with the poles of the bull flag pattern. Now let's just quickly get this over with. So with the possibility of a breakout to the upside, there's also a possibility of a breakout to the downside. I don't think that's likely to happen, but that would bring us to about 39,300. Now remember to close that gap that we had formed on the CME Futures. I believe we would have had to come down to about 39.6 to close that gap. So a breakdown from this channel would, or from this triangle, would solve that little gap situation we had. And it would simply bring us down to the center line of kind of this longer bull flag pattern that we are forming, potentially for another bounce upward anyway. So there you have that. Could go either way here. Now, that being said, let's kind of switch to a daily time frame. Trying to give arguments for both sides here. Now, so ultimately, that green triangle is in here and it's really flattened out now because we're super zoomed in. Let's get rid of all this stuff on the side here. We don't need it. But also what we are doing is kind of forming an ascending triangle formation because we have two contact points with this white dashed horizontal line at about 44,600. And if you scroll way, way back in time, we're on the daily. Now, it also coincides with a lot of points here in this range. And it's where we fell out here in April of 2022, where we dumped down. It was the last support before we fell through here. So that's a pretty significant region. And its resistance now. We've touched it twice. And really like to see us break through on the third time. So before we get go on further into this ascending triangular shape here, first let's you got these green lines here, these green vertical lines. That was from a prediction back here where we had this dump down. We formed a trend reversal candle. What was it? It was like some sort of a doji candle, and then I was predicting that we would pump right back up to where we had started from and continue on upwards this way. Didn't do that. However, we did form a daily candle up to about 43,500. Had a nice candle body, like 2/3 of the way back to where we, I thought we were going to go. But so I will remove these. I got to get rid of the clutter here. It's nice to have those as kind of a prediction. Now, we do get back up there, I believe, just taking kind of a different path. Now, what this path has done, look back here since November 9th, maybe even further back. No, since November 9th, we've been the top of our green parallel channel as well as the top of our white parallel channel. These lines here have acted as resistance for us. We took a long time. We took almost an entire month, 3 weeks or so, to break through those. Those are very significant. And, I just want to point that out because a lot of people don't don't choose to understand the parallel channels that I've drawn and think they're irrelevant. I said it again, irrelevant. I ain't been drinking. But clearly, this shows that they're not. It's obviously this white parallel channel that goes way back many, many years and it is very influential on the price action of Bitcoin, as well as this green parallel channel and this blue one, since we've almost been trading in this blue one or about so for an entire year now. So that's what's going on there. And you can clearly see how we really, really struggled here to get through. Now, once we did break through above out of the green channel, we came down and tested it once, twice, came up a little bit, and then tested it a third time, just, whenever that was, yesterday, Monday. And it's acted as support. We bounced off of it, no wicks through or anything like that. So that's really, really good. Here, actually, we tested the top of the bottom of the blue channel, but that's irrelevant. So a third test of our green parallel channel. Let's move on. Let's move on from there. And that also gives me reason that I don't see us coming down here. Now, okay, so let's discuss this. What is this arrow here and what is this arrow here? I took this measurement. We're on an hourly time frame. Do we need to be really? I don't know. Let's just stay on it. But I measured this distance here from the bottom of this leg, which would be a candle leg, to the top of that very, very important level of about 44,700. And if we did break down from the area we're currently in, this forming this green symmetrical triangle, if we did break down beyond closing this gap here, that would give us a target of about 34,600, which by the end of the year, which would fall in line with if we just stayed traveling down in this channel that we started forming from our local high. So that's a possibility. I doubt it. We tested the green channel 3 times and really struggled to get above it. Once we did, I think we're moving onwards and upwards. So on the other side, the breakout, once we do break out from this green symmetrical triangle, hit our target at this green X at about 45,700. I could see us then coming back down to test 44,700. Remember, it's very, very significant. So I imagine, I don't know, maybe we bounce on it a couple times and then come back up to the top here. And that is being blocked. That would be about 54,000 and some change there. So that's a more likely scenario, I believe. and falls in line with my original guesstimation. This green gets us back on our green little path here. As a matter of fact, let's just draw a little path here. So we come up here, like that, something like that. And I think I'm happy with that. Let's turn back to our cursor. Now, I'm going to stop and see if I'm forgetting anything. No, you know what? Let's just look at the RSI. We're on an hourly. Okay, on the hourly time frame. Oops. Hourly time frame, we have broken through back up through the moving average. That's nice. Go to a 4 hour. 4 hour, we avoided falling through the moving average, which is nice. And on the daily, I believe we are about to cross back. We have a potential of crossing, but no, we're still down here. But we are headed back up towards the moving average and could cross back above it today, tomorrow, or by the end of the week. And for another nice peak with a little green shadow in it, possibly up here. Now we did fall through here, so that doesn't give me connect those two. That doesn't give us much of a trend line. So I'm just going to leave that where it is for now. But what I do want to note is that we do have a higher low here. Yeah, well, we have a higher low here too, right? Yeah. So I don't want to note that. I thought there was something I wanted to point out, but I guess not. Okay. So since I'm really confusing myself, maybe it's a good time to. Oh, holy crap! Look at we're at 42.8. So before we go, let's just zoom in. Can't tell. Oh, what I do want to point out here is that I saw this before on the daily time frame. This is a sliding pickle sandwich formation, which I don't know if you'll believe this or not, but I actually um, coined that phrase myself. When you have a candle, long green candle like this, a little red, some sort of red meat here, and another pickle here. Usually this pickle is about the same height as this pickle here. And so it's a sliding pickle sandwich formation. Should bring us up to about 43. Well, I don't know. I'm just eyeballing this. Maybe up here somewhere. 43 and a half. What was our green thing? Oh, our other green thing is way up here. Nope. Okay, well, we're going to have to form a lopsided pickle sandwich, I guess. We'll just have to see. We might have to invent another term. Go to an hourly, and look at what we're doing. Since we last zoomed in here, we have broken out of our green symmetrical triangle. Sweet, you saw it here live. And the other thing we were doing here is once we had fallen out of our orange parallel channel that we've been traveling upwards in, back here, Sunday, at the end of the day on Sunday, fell out of it, came back in, And we lost it again right here, and really, really acted as resistance. Okay, so don't tell me my lines are BS. Look at how we really, really, really struggled to get back through here. And now we have broken out of our symmetrical triangle. Looks like we're coming down to test it right here. So I hope we hold here. If we do come all the way back down to 42,676 or so, and then bounce upwards. This is on the second hour of our 4 hour candle. 3, 4. So we broke out on this. Well, you know what? I can. Thinking about moving my target, but no, it's not, because see, it's right here on the 4 hour, so it doesn't really matter. It's just general anyway. So yeah, look at that. Looks nice. So see if we come up here like we're supposed to. For once, let's do what we're supposed to do. Now, I actually, you know, I make some pretty good calls. A lot of times I call them far too early, and we extend out longer than we need to. Well, then I think we're going to. I mean, but so ultimately this should play out. Look at it; it's very similar to what I thought, just a little farther off in the future. So actually, maybe I'll just leave these candles here for a little bit more. These fake candles. Okay, bored you long enough. So, like, subscribe, and see you next time. Leaving you at 42,750 ish.